I don't understand what happened over here. Your son hopes Trigger wins. Tell him that he's not alone. Alright, Rotti has invited me, so guys, I cannot watch Mana's video right now. But I will follow, I will continue to watch Mana's video as soon as games are ending. Or maybe I'll just do it at the end of the clan war. Because knowing Rotti, the pacing of these matches is very, very high. I believe everything is set correctly. We are back. And it is time for the grand finals of the WardiTV Team League Season 10 Championship. It will be Basilisk versus the Villains of SC2, a friends team made of 3 amazing Starcraft 2 players. It is definitely going to be a hard-fought battle, but I'm excited for it, and I hope it's a great match. Here we go.
Let's get it on.
Round 1, fight!
Top right side, we're looking at the main base of the Korean Terran, who has done what so very few players are capable of doing, and that is truly elevating the game to the next level. I have a lot of love and admiration for that, but today he's not on our side, so we ain't rooting for him. This is Percival, a very good aggressive Terran who can also play obviously a proper macro game. In the bottom left side though, as I believe we have somebody lagging in the beginning here of White Rabbit, we're looking at the main base of our MVP from yesterday, because he showed up in a big way against Gabe when we needed him the most. Can he continue on such a high note? He really has been an absolute stud for us. It is Basilisk Trigger. I also am in the same camp as your son, Leland. These two have obviously played a lot of games against each other. I have seen them both beat one another. We know that Percival is not the biggest fan of playing TVP, but he is very good in the matchup, as he just displayed as well. Trigger, I think, is quite okay with PvT these days. Now, it can still be scary. It's still the kind of matchup where once in a while they can surprise you, and nothing is ever a guaranteed victory. Looking at the way that he played yesterday against Gabe, thinking back of some of his matches against Clem, it is hard not to state that he is an excellent PvT player. I kind of agree with that statement, Winged. I really feel that PvT kind of sucks for both, but maybe it sucks a little bit more for Terran. But I think if you're not world class, it indeed kind of sucks for both. I'm also keeping my eye on the final game that's happening. Today is a really big match for us. It can make the entire next year of football a lot more exciting. And that excites me. As a lifelong Feyenoord fan, outside of now a half-alive fan of Starcraft 2. I like having something cool to look forward to next year. It's gonna be Stalker into Adept with a Twilight Council being warped in the main base. Percival has an SCV that is chilling. We have a reactor, so this looks like it's gonna be proxy starport with a couple of Hellions, a potential Hellion drop in game 1. Well, that is definitely a spicy way to kick off this series. This scout is already going to be very, very important. If we can take a little sneak peek up this ramp, that would tell us a lot. I don't think we're going to get that deep with the Stalker. But if we keep the Stalker here and we see the first 2 Hellions, then we kind of know what's up. This is a bit of a special for sure. There are different ways to play this. Sometimes they just build 6 Hellions and they go like Liberator in the main, 6 Hellion YOLO into the natural. But the more common variation is the 4 Hellions and the Medevac. At this point we don't know yet, and we haven't seen the Hellions yet either. It obviously does not spark any joy. This is a good scout. We see 2 Hellions. We see the Swapperoo. We could let it finish. We also see a lack of a starport. So this Adept is going to be annoying. It's going to deal damage. At this point we know this is going to be a Hellion drop. So, but obviously knowing it does not guarantee limiting the damage. Let's take a look at what this Adept can do. Medevac has picked up the Hellions on the other side of the map. Adept gets 2 SCV kills. It's a solid start. Here we go on the side of Percival. Trigger warps in the Stalkers. Ooh, we didn't have the Stalkers yet in the main. I did not like that. I'm a little bit worried. This is scary. We've lost 5. It is acceptable. I don't love this. We now lose 7. And we haven't killed the Medevac. We've only killed one of the 4 Hellions. Obviously, we did a good job in slowing down Percival as well on the other side of the map. I'd say minor advantage Percival if we can keep it at this. But Percival is not done yet. Percival once more unloads the Hellions on the backside of the Nexus. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. I think this is the end of the Hellion drop. We can now blink for the medevac. We will blink for the medevac. Oh, we split our shots. By splitting our shots, all 3 Hellions get out. Not the best Hellion drop defense in history. It's also not the worst, to be fair. We have seen Protoss players be straight up dead if they don't see this coming in time. Losing 11 is painful. What is the tank count at? Only 1 right now. At this point, Percival is in a good spot, but it's kind of inevitable that Percival is going to take some damage from the 3-gate War Prism Blinkstalker counter. He does have double bunker, but he will always lose mining time. He will always lose some SCVs. Unless Trigger really messes up. Trigger blinks into the main base. There's 1 tank siege up. There is a 2nd tank sieging up. This is the moment I think where Trigger needs to warp in some units and send it on the bunkers. Knowing both tanks are in the main base, if there was ever a send it on the bunkers moment, I would say this is it. Stim is only now starting. Tank is going to make some progress. Trigger is going to go for it. No, he does not want to blink. As he takes a little look with the War Prism to see where the tanks are at. Oh, but there are some Marines left behind. This time it's Zealots, though, inside of the War Prism. That's kind of cute. I love the pickup as well, trying to drop it on top of that Marine. Good response by Percival, pulling the SCVs, repairing the hell out of that tank. That tank almost, though, died. As Trigger accidentally lost the Stalker. Brought it a little bit too close to the tank in the bunker. Okay. I mean, good defense so far by Percival. I gotta give it to him. Charge is on the way. This tech lab feels exposed, but obviously it's not, with the 2 tanks and a couple of bio units protecting all of this. Trigger has gone up to 3 bases. He is gonna take a tank shot on his Stalkers, realizing that there really is nothing to be gained over here in the main base. The fact that Percival proxied that starport and had to fly it home did of course delay medevac production a little bit, is going to inevitably delay Viking production as well. It seems like Percy is maybe a tiny bit concerned about DTs. Someone is lagging. This has to stop. Trigger does snipe and Marine. That's nice. Charge almost done. We have a sentry. We have a War Prism, 8 Stalkers, 8 Zealots now. Where did we warp in? Ooh, careful. Trigger needs to pay attention. Trigger needs to pay attention. Trigger does not pay attention. Focused on the War Prism with the Zealots. Loses a bunch of Stalkers. Very painful. This is not getting any better right now. As Percival has a nice move. Hot pickup. Boost forward. Tries to unload units on the other side of that gap to collapse on these Stalkers as well. This game is not over yet. Trigger obviously does have a base advantage. Has a lot of Zealots. Has Colossus on the way. But we have lost a lot of units. In a way, I'm kind of happy that this turned out not to be a 2-base all-in by Percival. Because if Percy had 5 racks and he's pulling the boys right now, I'd be kind of worried. Right now, I'm also worried. But Trigger has shown us yesterday that he is capable of playing some magnificent late-game PvT. This might be a moment to jump on top of these tanks. Ugh, I would not have hated it, guys. With the amount of Zealots that we had, the Immortal, the Colossus, I would not have hated it. But we don't do it. Combat shield done, concussive shells on the way. Trigger leaves 1 Zealot behind, has a tiny Zealot counterattack with the War Prism. 23 Zealots right now. This is almost the Protoss version of the supply can lie a little bit, because we're so Zealot heavy. Wardi just crashed. Haha. This is so sad. Wardi is getting very, very unlucky as well. I don't know what that will mean for the rest of the clan war. Wardi is still in the game. I mean, he's not pausing, so we'll address that after this game, guys, and then we'll figure out what that means exactly. For now, what we know is that Percival is dropping the main base of Trigger, and the pylon got sniped, and a couple of probes have gone down, but the Colossus are here to save the day. And I guess this is maybe where Wardi is gonna disconnect. No, it's Pommy this time. I feel like Pommy, his internet dropped completely, but he's still in the game. Like, Wardi is in the game for me. Wardi is back. Alright, that's good. Pommy is not, I think. Wardi is back, but Pommy is not. It's very frustrating for Wardi. I feel like Wardi cannot catch a break lately in that regard. With PC issues, power outages. I know how it can go as a streamer, and sometimes it does really feel when it rains it pours, and nothing really goes your way. I think it was during the Kung Fu Cup last week that Wardi had a big power outage, and half of his town, village, city was without power. Wardi is from the UK, near Newcastle, like northern England. Alright. What can we do? In the end, very good defense, I think, against this drop. Yeah, we lost a couple probes, but we're going up to 4 bases. I don't think we lost anything too crucial, unless I missed it. Nah. So Trigger is slowly, yeah, at least finding himself in a comfortable position. This game is definitely not the walk in the park that perhaps Trigger would have loved it to be, that we would have all loved it to be. But Trigger is a absolute beast when it comes to late game PvT. As he showed yesterday, I felt that game on Mothership against Gabe looked from time to time rougher than this game is currently looking. So no reason to be too upsetty just yet. No reason to panic too much. We are so zealot. Actually, we're not that zealot heavy. I thought we were very, very zealot heavy because we had 23 zealots early, and I thought we made a few more, but Viking count is 6 currently, as Percival loads up a single medevac, but even just 8 Marines can really deal a serious amount of damage to a naked 4th base, especially if Trigger has just used his warpins on the other side of the map. Ooh, this drop, guys, has a lot of potential on the side of Percy. This is not a nice moment for Trigger to be dropped. Trigger also perhaps can do something. The main base of Percival is wide open, so both players are looking to deal economic damage. Trigger is going for the main, Percival is going to attack the 4th. And I feel both of them have a lot of potential. Look at this, doors wide open in the main. But here come the Marines of Percival, and this is difficult for Trigger to deal with. How is Trigger gonna... Trigger's gonna send it on the main army. He's gonna try to jump on these tanks. Do we have a couple of zealots in range of 4 siege tanks? 2 of them are dead. All 4 of them are dead. Stalkers, Guardian Shield, Immortal. +2 gets denied. And it looks like Trigger has successfully turned this one around. Man, he is such a gamer these days. I am so incredibly proud and impressed by the progress that Trigger keeps on showing. Now Percy's a warrior too, he's not just done yet. He's gonna try to turn this one around with a couple of Vikings, making a dive for the Colossus, but Trigger saves the Colossus, killed 39 SCVs, should be able to kill the 4th base too. I think we have done it, guys. That is a 3 base Percival with a 1 base SCV count, and we've got +2, and we've got Colossus. Trigger is so freaking good. So freaking good. An absolute beast. Seems like things will calm down a little. Percy obviously knows that he is in a very, very dire needs of anything. But he can't really afford anything. He's broke. Lost all of his SUVs. Has even been forced to temporarily evacuate the 3rd base. Even with a start that felt suboptimal. I don't want to say that it was the worst start ever. It could obviously be way worse than losing a couple of probes. But it definitely was not a good start. But even without a good start, our Canadian pro shows us that he is an absolute master of PvT in this day and age. On this patch, it really favors him. Just suits him. Micro keeps on getting better. The multitasking keeps on getting better. The decision making, game sense, top notch. Colossus does die there, but at this point we can lose all 3 Colossus, and I still feel very, very confident in Trigger's position. Few Zealots are gonna get on top of a wide open 3rd. There really is nothing that Percival can do anymore here. He definitely had me worried. He had Trigger perhaps a bit worried as well. But after 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we continue to look good today as we take the 1-0 lead in the grand finals. 1 down, 4 to go. Definitely a big W. Definitely a big W. If you look at the lineups. Guys, we need to play some ads because we have been live for 4 hours. And at the hour mark, we always need to run some ads. So a couple of ads coming up before we hop into game 2 of the grand finals. And that game 2 is Serral versus Percival. Serral versus Percival. Oh, you guys did not vote for Trigger. No, I settled the wrong one. Oh my goodness. Sorry guys, I literally had a jump scare. Oh my god. I misclicked. I'm sorry. It happened again. I'm sorry, guys. We'll try to sort it out after the tournament is done. Sorry about your points. I apologize. It literally scared me. You guys see how traumatized I am by the internet? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I literally gave myself a jump scare the moment I realized I misclicked. It's because I was already thinking Percival to fill it in for the next prediction and I clicked on the wrong button. I'm sorry. We will run a fake prediction at the end of this clan war. I think there is a couple of guys out there that really don't care about the channel points that will be more than willing to give some points away. There we go. I still lost. I cannot believe that, matey. Mate, if you care about the points, if there's something you like to keep track of, we'll run a fake prediction. Once all the games are over, once the clan war is done, I don't want to worry about channel points right now, but once the clan war is done, we'll run a fake prediction where you can get the right outcome. Maybe somebody else that doesn't care or has too many points gets the wrong outcome. We'll settle it like that. That's the best I can do. Sorry about that. Alright. Big start, strong start. 1-0 up. No, I don't have channel points. That's not how being a streamer works. I wish that it would work, that I'm like the bank of channel points and I can just distribute them a little bit or take them away, but I have no power over these things. How many games is a best of 9? Exclamation mark B to see the entire list of matches. Everything is a unique. Predict who gets clicked, not who wins. This is actually the second misclick in 1 weekend. I think it's the lack of sleep, guys. I know Joe Rogan recently explained himself by having a severe lack of sleep, foggy brain. I just haven't been sleeping well this week. Maybe a bit too worried, a bit too stressed over a lot of like little things here, there, everywhere. Keep waking up very early. I saw it. It jump scared me. I apologize. Anyway, it's just channel points. There are more important things in life, guys. Like game 2 of the grand finals. A best of 1 between Serral and Percival. We're up 4 match points until Goblin is a champion. And I've been living for this moment.
Round 2. Fight!
Bottom right side of 10,000 feet. We are looking at the main base of our Korean Terran. Had a decent start against Trigger, but was not able to capitalize on it, and that makes me very happy. He now has a very tough TVZ ahead of him, but he has caused some upsets before in this matchup. Do not count him out. It is Percival fighting for the Villains of SC2. Top left side of 10,000 feet. We're looking at the main base of the Finnish Phenom, our GOAT, the great Jonas Sotala. It is Serral. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know. I've misclicked twice. I felt like at one point I went 8 months without a misclick. Some people have never forgiven me for a random misclick a year and a half ago. I'm sorry that you lost channel points on my channel that you got while I was streaming, but this is not good. We need to get it together, guys. We need to lock in, as Reynor would say. I mean, if you're kind to me, I'll have a beer with you anyway, with or without channel points. There are still some Starcraft events to look forward to. There will still be plenty of opportunities for you guys to meet me, either for esports or for anything else that I may travel for. If your wish is to sit down with me, chitty chat a little, talk about the good old days or the future upcoming good days, and have a beer, we can arrange that with or without channel points. Triple CC opening by Percival. He's gonna drop his third CC on the low ground, so it is a Reaper into Reactor Factory triple CC. Kinda happy to see this, guys, because this is obviously a good build by Percival, don't get me wrong, but it is a very honest build. It's a very, I'm going to try to play my absolute A game, and I'm going to take you down in a fair and honest game. And I will always like Serral his chances when he does not get cheesed, when he doesn't get completely blindsided by something random, something gimmicky, mega aggressive, all in. And this is actually a great start for us, as former Zerglings are going to get on top of the only unit that can fire right now. So that is a dead Marine, that is a dead SCV. We won't get the second one, but we get a good scout for just a couple of slow Zerglings. We gotta be loving this. We gotta be loving this, and I am most certainly okay with everything that I'm seeing here in Game 2. I don't know if there is an MVP award for the entire league, but I feel like you can make a real case for Trigger being our MVP. Also saved us a bit on the very first playday against the Stolny Balls when we were down 0-3. Goblin won the PvP, but then Trigger won his 1v1 and Trigger won his 2v2 to send it to an ace match. Goblin has been great. I mean, honestly, everyone has been great. Yona obviously has come in clutch a couple of times already during an ace match. And Reynor has also been excellent for us. Like, legit, all four of them have been great. Can't really say anything else. But if I have to single one out, I actually think I would give it to Trigger at this point. He really has been next level. And that deserves to be said. We praise Reynor, we praise Serral all the time. And rightfully so, as they are two of the best Starcraft 2 players in history. But this has been a stunning performance by our Canadian Protoss. Got 4 Hellions and a Reaper. Just kind of roaming the center of the map, trying to delay the creep spread a little. Double eBay. About to finish up for Percival. Serral also has the double evolution chamber going down. These are the kind of TVZs where it's just a bit slow and steady, and it's just about hitting your macro cycles, not messing up, not missing work production, saturating your mineral lines properly. Of course, don't give an opening to these Hellions. Don't randomly lose your Hellions to the Queens. If you look at it from the other side, don't randomly lose a Viking. It's actually a pretty big loss on the side of Percival. That's an expensive unit. It's a very expensive unit. Things continue to look well for us. 12 extra workers on the way for Serral. His +1 melee is well on its way, and +1 carapace. Feigning nest gets planted down in the back of the natural. The creep spread is looking great, and we are going up to 4 bases. Yeah, I'm feeling very good about this game. Okay, Percival has... Did Percival cut workers, or... How is it possible that he's at 46? Guys, how many Rexes does Percival have? 5. 5 Rex, 2 eBays in the front, factory, starport. That is a very big worker deficit. It's a bit bigger than I ever expected it to be. I know that if a Terran opens up with triple CC, things can slow down a little before they really ramp up, of course, because it's an investment that pays off later. I know the Viking didn't get any economic damage done. I know the Hellions didn't kill any drones, but to see him down this many workers is a tiny bit surprising. Yeah, we're not building. So I guess, but why are we not building extra Rex then or something? Why don't we have 8 Rex already? Seems like Percival is going to try to surprise Serral here with a low SCV 3-base Giga all in, but it's just 5 Rex, it's a couple of tanks, it's a couple of medevacs. I feel like Serral can deal with this. If we just build nothing but Lings and Banes from here on out, we're more than fine. We really don't need extra drones. I'm a tiny bit scared. This is difficult for Serral to sniff out. Serral does drop an infestation pit, has 2 extra hatcheries. He doesn't really need these hatcheries. Serral, it's important that Serral keeps it together, guys. That he just focuses on the army that is at large, that is at our front door. All we need to do is clean this up one time and one time only and do it properly. We are cutting off the reinforcements as Percival is going to stim towards the center of the map as he is looking to cancel a bunch of these morphing banelings. As he continues to put pressure, Serral needs to hit some transfuse. Serral will hit transfuse. The tanks are very exposed, at least the front 2 are very exposed. Serral has mined out these mineral patches, by the way, so that could make our life a little bit easier when it comes to flanking. We need banelings, and we need them now. We've got 11 of them in total, and all we need is a couple of them to connect. So far, they ain't connecting, but the lings are swarming the tanks. It's still a bit dicey. It is still a bit dicey as we are running out of creep. Those two to upgrade. Queen's off creep right now. This is looking very scary. There's only one tank in the mix. We need some big baneling connections. The last bit of creep. Fantastic splits on the side of Percival. Gotta give him kudos for that. As one queen dies, second queen dies, third queen dies. We look for baneling connections, but we can't really see them. One big baneling connects and Serral taps out. Percival gets the job done with a low SCV. 3 base all in. 5 wrecks. 46 SCVs, 48 in the end. 1-1. Sends it. Gets it done. Wow. And just like that, we're all tied up. That scan in the center of the map and pulling those marines back to kill all those morphing lings into banelings to make sure that he didn't get surrounded was excellent game sense on the side of Percival. That was a clutch game-winning move right there. That one was not supposed to happen, but it's all good. It's gonna be a long journey, guys. It's the grand finals. Alright, we'll settle this prediction correctly. This time it is Percival. Ay. Percival takes the best of one over a Serral. Next up is Serral Trigger versus MaxPax Percival. Serral Trigger versus Max Percy. PCP Max Percy PT. Alright. Whew, big 2v2 coming up now. That is a big 2v2 that's coming up. It's never easy, but it wouldn't be fun if it was easy. It is never easy, but it wouldn't be fun otherwise. 2v2s have definitely not been bad for us throughout this team league, but I never feel as certain about a 2v2 or as good about any 2v2 as I feel about 1v1s. But I mean, we've got Trigger. I hope Trigger knows that it's his time. I hope Trigger knows that we swapped the order. But I assume that Jonah is in touch with him. He is online. I'm gonna go ahead, guys, and run to the restroom very quickly. I'll be back. I'm gonna hide my camera and hide my overlay, so you guys don't have to look at me and I don't block part of the info for 2v2. See you guys soon. Serral Trigger, MaxPax Percy coming up. Alright, we are back. We're all tied up after 2. It's a proper start to a grand finals, a best of 9. That one was obviously a little unexpected, but it's all part of the game. It's also the beauty of Starcraft too, that results and outcomes are not set in stone. The map is undercurrent for the 2v2. Is there any weird current on this map as well that we have to worry about? No, I have seen this map. It's very pretty. For a 2v2 map, it is very pretty. Bottom side, representing the Villains of SC2, a friends team made especially for this competition. We're looking at the main base of Percival and MaxPax. And top right side, we're looking at the main base of the man who would love to set that record straight. Our GOAT, the Finnish phenom, Joona Sotala. As he is joined by perhaps the MVP of this season so far, is Trigger. Does anyone know the minimum age for Home Story Cup? There is no minimum age. Everyone is welcome. You can definitely bring your son or daughter. If you want to bring your kids to the event, that's totally fine. The average age is indeed going up there. StarCraft 2 fans are not getting any younger. Even though it's also getting lowered by more and more die-hard lifelong StarCraft 2 friends making their way over to Krefeld and bringing their kids to the event, at least for an afternoon or an evening. So that kind of balances it things out. If you don't count the kids, then the average age is definitely going to be 35. But there is no minimum age requirement. But you'll fit right in at any age. So 1 gate fast expand on the side of Trigger. And Max also doing a 1 gate fast expand, but he is going for... What's the main difference here, guys? Why is Trigger his Cybercore quite a bit later than the one of Max? Reaper of Percival, this is going to be very annoying, guys. Like, Trigger is nowhere near having a unit. I don't really understand what has gone wrong here. And we have truly prioritized the very quick Nexus by the looks of it. Serral is going to help out with his Zergling. Stargate on both sides. And I find 2v2s very stressful, by the way. I like it. We've had a couple of very cool 2v2s, and I've loved the Yona counterattacks, the Yona run-bys. They have been fantastic in 2v2, but it scares the crap out of me, and this already looks a little bit dicey. Double Reaper is going to hop way back into the natural. We have a MaxPax Adept in the main base of Serral. Serral could surround it with drones and lings if he wants to, and that's kind of what he's going to do now towards the end. Kills it. Let's say we did an okay job with damage limitation there. There's another Adept that's being annoying. We're going to do a decent job against this one as well. Phoenix on the side of Trigger, as we have an Oracle on the side of Max. Max, who has not scouted. Actually, they have scouted. So it's just one Oracle into a quick Twilight Council on the side of the man from Denmark. Trigger is actually kind of committing to the Phoenix bit. He's going double Stargate Phoenix. I don't favor our position here, guys. I actually really don't like this. Even if we have a Phoenix to deal with this Oracle, and we are going to get on top of it quickly, this should be a recall. If you recall it now, you can still save it. I obviously don't need to tell MaxPax anything, and that is what he will do. There was an era where the Oracle was light armored, and it definitely would not have survived all that damage. They changed that one a while ago. I am a bit worried, guys, because we haven't really seen what's happening in the main base of... okay, we technically did see the morphing gate. It could just be the one warp gate. Okay, a ping! Serral pinged on the gateway. Just when I'm trying to figure it out if our boys know or not, Serral pinged on the gateway. And he's like, hey, he's getting warp gate. Is that standard? And Trigger is like, well, I'll just get another Stargate. I am not sure about this, guys. The problem is that Marines are obviously so freaking good against Phoenixes. Marines are cheap. Phoenix cannot possibly lift all of them. And it's also difficult for Phoenixes to kill Stalkers. It feels that the build orders are working out a little bit in favor of Max and Percival. These Phoenixes will be able to at least be annoying here, and they'll start killing some SCVs as there is an opening. A couple of Adepts are going to try to be annoying. I feel like we should be able to deal with Adepts. Knowing that we have a Xel'Naga Watchtower, we have all the Xel'Naga Watchtowers, we've got Phoenixes. What I'm mostly worried about, guys, is the army strength of the Basilisk boys in a straight up fight. Like, Marines are going to have crazy high DPS. Oh, I don't like this. This is a terrifying move out. The 3-Rex has been pumping out Marines for a while. Phoenixes just don't deal well in these situations. Roaches, they'll do a little bit better, but they won't be doing fantastic because we have to worry about Stalkers too. I don't like this. I do not like this. I don't know how we're going to deal with this, but Serral is going to try to pull off a little bit of Serral magic with Roaches, with Ravagers. At least there are some Stalkers in the mix as well. What are we going to lift? What are we going to lift? We're going to lift Marines. We're going to lift Marines. Phoenixes are tanky. Does it allow the Roaches and the Ravagers to hold for the Basilisk boys? We've lost a lot of Phoenix, and I still see a decent amount of firepower on the side of MaxPax and Percival. But Serral did get a Spine Crawler up. That one spine is useful. You could really use a little bit of energy on these Phoenixes. Couple of Corrosive Vials. I did not love that engagement, to be fair. I think it would have gone a lot better if the Phoenixes came in from the left side. These Phoenix are now looking for the kill on the Oracle. That's not going to work. Can we kill a medevac? Yes, we can kill a medevac. And we have activated the stasis trappy as well. There is a single 8 marine drop on the right side that is going to slow trigger his expand down, perhaps kill it. Now this might be a moment that we can jump on this. No, I felt like that was perhaps a moment where we could have gone for it, but instead it's a couple of slow roaches and a lot of Phoenixes that are going to deal with those 8 marines and that 1 medevac. How are we looking in the center? It's alright. Wow, Max's economy is so big, by the way. 65 probes on the side of MaxPax against the 53 on the side of Trigger, 52 drones on the side of Serral. It's only 48 SCVs, but 48 SCVs and mules. Phoenixes are gonna fly in and will continue to deal some economic damage. We might lose one. No, we didn't lose a single Phoenix there. Circling counter on the left side would be nice. Shield battery is not quite done yet. There are extra units being sent to the other side of the map. Stalker count on the side of MaxPax, 26. Lings of Serral are... we are using a lot of energy here, guys. This is great harass. I hope we see the Darkspine too. The Lings are not going to accomplish a whole lot against the battery and the cannon defense. Can we hold here? Against this army we can definitely hold. I'm actually surprised that MaxPax and Percival are split up. Max is on the high ground, Percival is on the low ground. Serral still has a couple of Lings on the other side of the map. Trigger's army right now is 14 Phoenix and 2 Zealots. We are still just building Phoenix. Phoenix, Phoenix, Phoenix. That is all we are making. So it's Roach Ravager, Phoenix against Stalker, Marine. That obviously doesn't sound very good in theory for us, but... this Nexus is taking some damage. We're gonna have to clean this up. But we are busy dealing with the army of MaxPax. Phoenixes are gonna try to lift, but the boys are a tiny bit out of sync as Trigger dives on the Stalkers. Serral was uncertain if we're gonna defend the low ground or fight on the high ground. In the end, it seems like we have settled for both, but not correctly, as we still end up losing this Nexus, and I don't think this 2v2 is gonna go our way. Even though it is 2v2 and it's not over yet. Don't kill your own Phoenix with the corrosive bow. I mean, Percival is obviously like somewhat broke, but, well, 56. The Phoenixes can be useful. Serral still has a very good supply, but Trigger, his supply is in the dumps. We don't have a lot of workers, and we have 10 Phoenixes that are battered and bruised and have very little energy. This doesn't look very good. This does not look very good. Oh. MaxPax just opening up the Stargate, 1 Oracle, and then going into the Blink Stalkers. Well, Team Basilisk committed to the bit, making double Stargate, even triple Stargate eventually. Just not quite ready to deal with all these round units, and this time the Lings not as successful as they have been in some of the other games. Serral is definitely trying, as we are picking up an SCV, we are picking up a Mule, but it feels that this Stalker, Marine, Marauder, Medevac army is kind of unstoppable. Or is there a way? Roaches, Ravagers, Phoenix, can we dream? Can we believe? What are the upgrades on these Stalkers? +2 already on the side of Max. I want to believe it is a battle. I mean, they're doing whatever the hell they can. There is a moment where sometimes Phoenixes become very useful again. If they do have a bit of energy, if they continue to kill every single medevac. And now we're going to have to worry about Zealots too. We just have no freaking energy. If only there was a way to summon some energy on all these Phoenixes. But it is a hold. I mean, it's kind of a we held but at what cost moment. I mean, we are so far down economically. Feels like MaxPax alone is almost mining more than our players combined. And that makes it feel like it's a very unfair fight. Getting +1 air weapons now. I didn't want to be that guy that always talks about air weapons, but I feel like if we are continuing to spam Phoenix, if we are investing so heavily in them, and we are relying on them to kill Marines, to kill Medevacs, to kill Stalkers, I think we should have had +1 a little bit quicker. Phoenixes will die for the Medevacs. They'll get one of them. There is a ghost in the mix now too, and a single EMP. There is that EMP of Percival. That's really going to hurt. Seems like for the first time today, guys, we might be trailing as Percival and MaxPax will put the Villains of SC2 up 2-1. GG. Well played by both of them. And obviously our guys, they fought well, fought hard. But I think the very first fight maybe it could have gone like a tiny bit better if instead of the Phoenixes coming in from the right side where they lifted a Stalker, went over the enemy units and then started lifting Marines. If they came in from the top left, I actually think that that would have gone a little bit better. But yeah, GG. We're done. 1-2. Still a lot of Starcraft to be played, but it's not going to get any easier. Knowing that there is still a lot of MaxPax and Solar to face. It's going to be very difficult. We'll settle this prediction. Next up, Serral Max. This is a very big one. This right here is a very, very, very big one. Serral's our Finnish is Zerg, and MaxPax is our Danish Protoss. Always stressful, always intense, these finals. And it never comes easy. But hey, wouldn't want to have it any other way. It's a good show. We go over to the European server. Definitely no reason to panic yet. But not as comfortable and not as easy and not as convenient as our previous match. But it's not the first time in the league that we are down in a battle, even just yesterday. Oh my god, NAC just scored against Feyenoord in the absolute last minute. Oh my goodness, in the 97th minute we let them score. It's unbelievable. 97th minute. Feyenoord. When it rains it pours, right? Isn't that what we just said? Any VAR, any offside? No offside. Ah, Feyenoord. I mean, a draw is not that bad. We are ahead of them in the table. Is that hands? Is that hands? Do I see hands? VAR, no. Alright. Alright. Down 1-2. This is a big match. Winter Madness. Serral versus MaxPax. We win this and we're all tied up. And it's fine. We lose, we're down 1-3. And it's obviously going to be a little scary. And very tough from there on out. But this is a crazy good matchup. Very, very high skilled for sure. But also a difficult one to feel mega confident over. It could go Serral's way, it could go Max's way. These guys have been trading maps, trading series for a little while now. Of course, Serral has the bigger resume, the more impressive career, the GOAT. But none of that really helps you in a best of one here in 2026 on the 12th of April. Here we go, round 4, grand finals.
Round 4. Fight!
It's a best of 9. Currently, Basilisk is down 1-2 versus the Villains of SC2. In the bottom right side, fighting for us, for science, it's Yona, Sotala, and Serral. Top left side of Winter Madness, we're looking at the main base of the man who just got a W in his first 2v2. There will be a lot of him in this clan war as he plays 2 1v1s and 2 2v2s, just like his opponent here on Winter Madness. Representing Storm Gaming, it is MaxPax. And of course, the Villains of SC2. Taking a look at the final seconds. I cannot believe that that happened, by the way. So typical Feyenoord. Almost a great result, but you know, draw is something. Can do something with a draw. As they like to say, we still have it in our own hands. PvZ is a funny matchup on this patch and on this map pool. Maybe a little bit similar to what Wingend was talking about in the PvT, that it can be hell for both sides. Same thing can perhaps be said for this matchup. Even though most Protoss players are very fond of it, they like it, they're not too worried. But I feel like that's mostly the elite. If you're a level below that, I think playing PvZ can still be very difficult. Max is obviously elite, but there is always playing PvZ, and then there is playing PV Serral. And that has historically just been a much more difficult cookie to crack. Not to crack, cook, crumble, whatever. Figure it out. Things were looking very beautiful for me on this Sunday, like an hour and a bit ago. We were winning some ladder game piece. We had a very good start to our play of day. Feyenoord was leading. Nothing but rainbows and butterflies, roses and sunshine. Now we're down 1-2, and Feyenoord conceded in the 97th minute. But it's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and still get up. So let's turn this around. Yeah, I'm very done with this whole Eredivisie season. I just want Feyenoord to finish second, because I don't think we make it through the qualifiers. As I said earlier today, before we started watching the matches in the grand final, the way that seeding works is just never really favorable for Dutch teams. Double Adept Oracle with a second Oracle on the way. It is so important for Serral to keep track of the unit movement of MaxPax here. Seeing these units is no surprise. That's not where the strategy really comes into play. It's on how MaxPax decides to use them. When does he commit? When does he fake it out? Can he find an opening? We know he'll be looking. We know that Serral is second to none when it comes to defending this kind of stuff. But a single mistake. And Jonas obviously just human too. He's probably not very happy about that ZVT on 10,000 feet not going his way. Jonas is a veteran. Been here before. Just gotta make sure that we keep it nice and tidy. Ooh. Try to morph that drone into a spore crawler to save it, but by doing that we actually lost the spore, so we lost a bit extra. But we are getting some shots off on the Oracle, and we got the first attempt, and with a bit of luck we're gonna get the second one as well. There is another Oracle though that's gonna activate Pulsar Beam here as the drones are being transferred from the natural to the third. Nice movement on the Oracle for Max, but Serral also moved his queens rather quickly. The follow-up, guys, is Resonating Glaive Adept. This is how Classic was able to take down Serral in their first match on Friday. The scout is not perfect. All we see is a stalker. It's almost impossible for Serral right now to know that the follow-up is Resonating Glaive Adept. And he's going for a +1 melee. Now, +1 melee is not ideal against Resonating Glaive Adept. Obviously, roaches are very solid. Sometimes having some banelings can be nice, even though most pros don't really believe in the baneling. +1 melee is like very hit or miss. Killing an Oracle would make our life 1,000,000 times better. Well, we haven't yet. Serral had, I think, almost 80 Zerglings against Classic when Classic attacked him with 18 Adepts. The problem is that 60 or so of those Zerglings got stuck in a single stasis trap. We're gonna make links. We have right now just 9 links. MaxPax does have +1 on the way as well. That's obviously gonna come into play later. He's mostly just looking for damage, and he's mostly just looking to hide. So right now, with this single Zergling, guys, what Serral sees is 2 Stalkers, but that doesn't tell him anything. This could still be so many different things. So, we're gonna see this right late. This is a good Zergling scout. This is the first time that we really see it. We see all the adepts. We have 18 extra links on the way. +1 melee is almost done. We have 6 queens. Serral is gonna have to pull off a monumental hold. And it's so difficult without banelings. It's so difficult without roaches. But if anyone could do it, a bit of a cast a cliche. We are hiding the links, guys. We have been hiding the links, but MaxPax also cancels the shade. There is an adept coming. Excuse me, there's a stasis trap coming up there, and Serral knows how dangerous those stasis traps are. One queen with a lot of energy gets picked off. That is not a good start when it comes to holding this. All the links are just not certain on where to go. There is no new stasis trap. The follow-up is +1 on the ground weapons and Zello charge. Serral down 6 workers, but it's obviously up not 1 but 2 bases. If we can just not take crazy damage from these adepts, if we can clean it up, life is good. But when do we ever clean this up? The Shade is gonna finish, yeah. This time the Shade will finish, but we have some Hydras helping out, guys. That little bit of extra range DPS could go a long way here. Of course we're gonna lose a lot of Zerglings. We were always going to lose a lot of Lings. But the extra DPS of these Hydras is making our life a little bit better. It's not good, but it's also not game over. We have 13 drones on the way immediately. And MaxPax, his Storm, is going to be like a tiny bit late. I mean, all things considered, guys, I think I'll take it. Right now, Max has very little army supply. Did save his Oracles, and it's so difficult to counter against Oracles when your Hydras don't have any upgrades yet. But the Lings with +1 melee are going to get a lot of surface area. They're going to focus Oracles to activate Pulsar Beam immediately. Cannon gets killed, not cancelled. I mean, there was 23 adepts in total. A couple of them obviously in the early game, but 21 additional adepts. Can the Lings run into the main or natural? That would be so big, but that stock is positioned correctly. But the Hydras are here. Hydras killed that stock, and Lings do not want to get in. I'm surprised, but I guess MaxPax has a lot of gateways, has +1, has Resonating Glaive Adept, has Zealot Charge by now. Maybe Serral feels that running those Lings in would just be a donation. 84 drones, but still lair tech. Storm is on the way now, guys, and Storm is a problem. How many Hydras do we have? 12. We're about to go up to 21, as an Oracle has dropped a Revelation on the right side. It felt like if Serral wanted to go Hive, we would have already been halfway on our way to Hive, despite the fact that we were forced to make a gazillion Lings and Queens. I think Serral is looking for a great fight with Ling, Hydra, and then a devastating counter. MaxPax is already thinking of run buys. It's honestly a little bit early. If Max would know what we knew, I don't think he'd be making these move outs. I don't think he'd really be making this play. Because MaxPax doesn't need to be aggressive against lair attack Serral. Max actually just needs to defend. And Serral is the one who's going to be forced to attack into MaxPax. Because we are not transitioning. We are not tacking up. So the Serral is forced to attack. And it seems like Max is not really aware of it. He's also investing in a Fleet Beacon and a Stargate. I know those are very powerful Protoss tools, but those are not tools that are going to come in handy anytime soon. MaxPax just needs cannons, batteries, and units. But right now he doesn't have a lot of units, and Serral is going to jump on some High Templars. I would have loved to see some Hydras maybe on the right side, but the Archons are dying. The cannon is dying. Sure, MaxPax is harassing a little bit with a War Prism on the other side of the map, but if lair attack Zerg was ever going to look sexy, I would say this is the moment where it does look sexy. These Zealots are a problem. That Storm is a really big problem. It is going to get messy, bloody. That is a lot of death probes for sure. We have Dropper Lords near the natural of Max, but we are not really using them. Serral now needs to make sure that he can really clean this up. There are Zealots in multiple bases. Just killing the third is probably not enough, as a bunch of low HP Hydras are getting slaughtered by an Arc on some High Templars. MaxPax with his War Prism has done as much, if not more, damage to Serral than Serral with his entire army. And that just makes things look very, very bad for us. GG Gats called. That was a fantastic hold by Max in the end. And unfortunately, Serral did not have an answer for all those Zealots and the War Prism. GG. Whew. 1, 2, 3. Well, that is tough. That is most certainly very tough. Damn. Well played by Max, of course. Always have to give kudos and respect and love. MaxPax is a beast. Shame for Yona. That was not Yona's day so far, but he still has a very, very important 2v2 to play. We'll settle that prediction. Is it another 1v1 now, right? MaxPax is correct. So is it Reynor now? Is it who's playing? Let's take a look. And now it's a Reynor Max on Old Republic. Reynor versus MaxPax, best of 1, Old Republic. Very, very, very important game for us. Reynor is our Italian Zerg, and MaxPax is our Danish Protoss. I'll give you guys 5 minutes. Zealot printer, yeah, but there was a lot more to it, right? Old Republic. tough. Come on. The man who just came back from Miami. Hello, Reynor. We need him. We need Reynor to be big once more. He's been big for us already a couple of times in this team league. Old Republic. A very big 1v1. This is not match point yet. Stop stressing. I'm never stressing, mate. I'm having a good time. We are here watching Starcraft in the year 2026 with each other. I am not stressed, maybe. But I am excited. Go get him. Focus. I'm drinking a Red Bull because I heard that makes him more powerful. Here we go. 1-3. After that start, it's not what I thought we'd be looking at. Round 5. I don't have a round 5 sound bit. Top right side of Old Republic. We're looking at the main base of the Italian Stallion. He's played a great season so far. But this is probably the most difficult match that he has played in this team league. Representing Basilisk, it is Reynor. We're down 1-3. Mostly due to this man, as he won the 2v2 and just won his 1v1. Hailing from Denmark, representing Storm Gaming, this is MaxPax, now fighting under the banner of the Villains of SC2. A friends team that he has made together with Solar and Percival to participate in this team league organized by WardiTV. Team Championship Season 10. Old Republic is a map that Reynor has played a couple of ridiculously epic ZVPs on. Think of those games against Hero, and there were a few more. It somehow almost always turns into 2 Tempests and a couple of Lings, Lurkers and Hydras on the other side of the map. Max is going to go for the 1 gate fast expand into a Cybercore, of course. I'm still thinking of that first dive that Jonah had on the left side. I wonder if we would have immediately moved a couple of units towards the right side rather than funnel everything through the bottom of the 4th. If we come in from 2 angles, it's very scary because obviously if you don't immediately kill the Archon deals so much damage to your Hydras and Lings will melt. But it felt like 4 or 5 High Templars were on top of each other. Maybe we can just get in range, snipe them quickly enough. Can really go down south quickly, because if they drop Storm, morph into an Icon and you don't have the DPS anymore to kill it, obviously your attack is over and the game is lost. If only we would have been able to kill that War Prison, but yeah. If buts and maybes, they don't count. Well played by Max. Man is a bit of a beast. So is Reynor. And that gives us the stage for a very exciting best of 1 on Old Republic. Hello, Yun. Circling speed halfway done. Super important to keep it clean in the early game. Felt that Serral did an okay job against the Adepts and Oracles at first. Obviously it was a bit of a shame this one drone morphed into a Spore and then it died, so you do lose extra money rather than just losing the drone. But outside of that, it was pretty good at first. So difficult for Zerg players to scout and figure out what it is exactly, as MaxPax is going to let this shape finish up. Wants to get a little aggressive here early on. Reynor has a Queen in range and a couple of slow Zerglings. I think we can kill 1 Adept here. We do kill 1 Adept at the cost of only Link so far. Now Link speed is done. This is a really good start by Reynor. Sure, he may lose 8 Zerglings, but we've lost 0 drones. We lose 0 drones. At least against the Adept. Now the Queens are going to make their way over into the natural. It's only 2 drones, as the Oracle does take a little bit of hull damage. It's not just the shields anymore. I'll take it. Obviously, it's not like MaxPax got nothing there, because he did still get 9 Zerglings down total and 2 drones. But he took some damage on the Oracle, lost the first 2 Adepts. I think overall this is quite clean on the side of Reynor. The doors are open. Reynor could technically go in with 2 Lings. Not like he would kill a whole lot, but can maybe save himself. MaxPax splitting up the Oracle. Oh, Reynor morphs that drone immediately into a spore. Or maybe it was the queen actually that was being attacked. No, it was the drone. I think the drone was on the target, fired by that Oracle, and we morphed it into a spore immediately. So, well done. All quite clean on the side of Reynor. Reynor hasn't really given us a real indication yet on where he wants to go with this. He's dropping a 4th hatchery in the center of the map. Double Oracle. Kills 2 drones. The only the only emote that is blocked specifically in my channel was that Mew emote that Serral has. Because I thought it was very distracting when my entire chat was filled up with like dropping Mews. But maybe at one point, if there is an option, I've turned off all those animations. Because it's just a bit too much, man. I cannot deal with all these like spinning things on the side, craziness. I think there is a time and a place for that, but I cannot really keep track of all of that. It's overwhelming. It's just pig now as the prefix. Nice job by Reynor as he saves that drone too, morphs the two attacks. Get in, they will kill 2 drones in the end. Was a bit of a shame that the Lynx didn't try here, because it felt that the doors were relatively open. There was only 1 Oracle guarding this 3rd base of MaxPax. And 1 Adapted, 2 Oracles and a Warp Prism. That is currently the army of Max, as Max is warping in a couple of High Templars that will morph into Archons. And it's a bit of a Christianer setup. Reynor, his queen count is 7. Drone count is 70. Hydralisk then well on the way. So far I think it's a very even game. I really don't think you can say that it's... Okay, it's not amazing for Reynor. It's not a disaster. If we kill this Warp Prism though, like, then we're cooking, but we cannot kill the Prism because Max will always pay attention. Lynx are counter-attacking, but there is a shield battery and double Oracle defending it. And this is now actually a bit scary immediately, because these Zealots have +1, and it's so difficult to fight Zealots with +1 when you are quite circling heavy. So we are waiting for these Hydras to show up. Look at the Lynx of Reynor, they're kind of melting. We do get a surround on one of the Archons. It's so low on HP, we're deep on creep. In the end, Reynor loses 3 drones and a lot of Zerglings. MaxPax loses only Zealots and had a very, very, very hot pickup on one of those Archons. It also felt like we were so close to maybe getting in range of that War Prism with the Queens, but that's kind of what it always feels like. You're almost there, not quite there, almost there, not quite there. Oracle flies in range with the Spore Crawler. Reynor is gonna move that for this Archon was so low on HP, by the way. It has now regenerated shields back up to 93. Reynor moves the Spore. We're not gonna have a quick infestation pit. We're not gonna have... Storm is already done. Just seems difficult. Reynor is down in workers. Does not have an easy, quick way to get into lurkers. We are setting up some drop alert action. It feels that Max is gonna have so many storms, right? He already has 6 High Templars just sitting here. 6 High Templars with energy, and it's very, very difficult to attack into that. It's double Robo? No, single Robo. Single Robo, but 2 Immortals are out, 3rd Immortal on the way. 5 Overlords. Max confident enough to even think of moving out. He does have the 2nd Robo on the way now. Few times it looked like Max was overextending, like he put that War Prism in danger, put the Observer in danger, put the Archon in danger. In the end it was none of it, and now it just kind of feels like we are already playing the kind of game that MaxPax's dreams are made out of. He's got plenty of storms to work with, he's got Zealots with +1. Reynor does have at least still some different squads of units moving. This War Prism could maybe be in some danger. Did the Drop Lords get spotted? I believe they did. MaxPax even dropping a Fleet Beacon already. So confident. Oh, Reynor forgot about the last 2 Zealots. There's a bit of a problem. We don't have a Baning Nest. Do we have recall? There is no recall available. This is where Reynor really needs to somehow find magic, guys, as he's setting up a big link counterattack on the battery and on the cannons. He has a big drop in the natural on top of the storm, on top of a cannon. And then we have an army in the center of the map. Reynor is just trying to pull MaxPax apart, but it feels that Max is pretty well set up everywhere, even though he has underreacted a little bit to the drop alerts in the natural. 17 death probes is a start. We're getting an Archon, that's a follow-up. We might get another Archon here. Can we unpower the cannons and the batteries? Yes. Do we get an Oracle? That's not quite the case. I mean, Reynor is finding good damage, but it's very similar to how Serral was finding good damage. But MaxPax might be on wobbly legs, but he's definitely not dead yet. And he's got 1500 gas. Does he still have his Templar Archives? Yes, he does. Reynor really needs more. Reynor knows that he needs more, and that's why he keeps on sending it. And it's starting to look like maybe we can get more, as it's just Link surrounding an Immortal here. The Oracle dies. This would be such a big win for the storyline. The drop lords are still going hard. Reynor is picking and dropping units up like he has medevac with boost. He most certainly doesn't. MaxPax losing the 4th base, losing 21 probes. There's still a little bit of creep as Reynor is pulling a couple of the last units of MaxPax out of position. These last High Templars though are still very, very scary. Reynor is in a good enough position that we could be happy with the damage that we have dealt. But then we also know that Max is most likely going to show up with a gazillion Archons. Of course, we do lose that drop alert, the Hydras inside of it. Reynor says, you know what, let's just continue piling on the pressure as a few more High Templars get warped in. There's so much storm, by the way. Reynor is just trying to bait out these storms, but there is almost infinite storm on the side of Max. Reynor is doubling the army supply, but that doesn't mean you can just dance in storms and shower in them. As we are picking up an Archon, that is great news. The second Archon has died. High Templars alone won't win the game. MaxPax needs follow-up units, and it seems like he's running a little bit low on these follow-up units. A few extra Lings, a few extra Hydras. Reynor has +2 melee on the way. MaxPax holds, but he holds at the cost of his 4th base. Over 30 workers, a lot of energy being used. Reynor's got 5 bases, has dropped the Infestation Pit in the midst of this attack, has +2 melee, +2 range. Our man, fresh back from Miami, needs nothing but units here as he's gonna try to meet these units very far out. That is a little bit scary. Drop alerts are ready to continue doing what they have been doing. There is no cannon. This fleet beacon has been a wasted investment. It seems like MaxPax does not feel that he can macro out of the position that he's in. So MaxPax is going to try to end the game right here, right now with Storms and Archons. As Reynor is, you know, dropping a lurk, and then I don't really love that. Oh, the Queens! We really don't want to lose all the Queens. Don't do it. We're so close. Not once more. Reynor Heartbreak in ZVP. I've already seen this a couple of times. The drop lords are going to do their thing on the other side of the map, guys. More and more and more probes will fall. I would love to see Reynor cancel the hive. I would love to see Reynor cancel the lurker then and just fight this army. If the Archons die, Reynor's got it, but all 4 Archons still alive. 1 Archon finally dead at this point. 23 Hydras. It should be enough on creep. The War Prism gets picked off. Hydras on the ramp, 1 more Archon gets picked off. There are 2 more Archons morphing, but right now it's just 2 Archons, 2 Immortals. That is not enough. Reynor has done it. What a game. What a game. Such beautiful multi-prong aggression by the Italian Stallion. Woo. What a finals. What a game. What a life. Whew. Whew. That was beautiful. We are so back. I fully believe. Still a lot of Starcraft to be played, but fantastic for the storyline, fantastic for the excitement. Stop stressing, Unc. Reynor gets the W. What's up next? Is this Goblin's finest moment, guys? Is this the finest moment of Goblin's career? Is this Kiev 2018, but then the 2v2 version? Alright, so we have a very big 2v2 coming up. Goblin Serral versus MaxPax and Solar. Score is 2-3 in favor of the villains. As we get ready for Goblin Serral versus MaxPax Solar. Is that correct? Alrighty. Momentum has shifted a little. I guess that means we go back to the American server. What a finals. What a roller coaster. The drama. The controversy. There's no controversy. Oh. That was beautiful. I got a tiny bit stressed towards the very end. You see the Archons, the Templars, the Queens on the edge of Craven. Like, not again! Not again! Great performance by Reynor. Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and move the overlay. I'm gonna move the camera as we get ready for Game 6 of the Grand Finals. With 2v2. Give me 1 sec, I'll be right back. I'll see you guys real soon. Alrighty. Thank you, Zman XD. Rohana is going to be our next battleground. Best of 9 Clan War score 3-2 in favor of the Villains of SC2. A friends team made up for this fun team league that Wardi brought back to life after many years. I think it was a 6-year hiatus. Top left side of Rohana, we are looking at the main base of the man who has joined us for this fun team league to be the 2v2 expert. It is Goblin. And he is joined by the man who's had a tough grand final so far, so I'm sure he is eager to get one on the board. The great Jonas Sutala, it is Serral, as they will be playing a 2v2 versus this man, Sidestorm Gaming's MaxPax, who beat Serral in Winter Madness but lost to Reynor on the Old Republic. And of course, the Korean Zerg, always dangerous, always feisty, it is Solar. Rohana is indeed awfully close to Ohana, and we all know what Ohana means. Mr. Bitter will be very happy that you guys are still remembering that. Little tribute to the NASL days. Hello, Ballium. Great series to celebrate. I hope with a great ending as well, mate, for all of us. But thank you, Ballium, for the 60 months, 5 years. That's awesome. Whew. Well, it's definitely a very different experience than our first match today, and that is for sure. Goblin scouted and Pink got a Nexus first. Nexus first into double gate as MaxPax has gone for the 1 gate and now the expand, I assume. So we're going all out eco. Well, MaxPax is prioritizing the quick attack. This match point is best of 9, so whoever wins 5, best of 1s wins the Clan War, and in this case wins the tournament. So no match point yet for either team. Team Liquid also posted really nice. Yeah, I will definitely dive into the Mana Tribute. First Mana's video and then the Tribute as well. Once this is all over, I want to give that the time that it deserves. Cause obviously that is a big thing that has happened today. Mana being on Team Liquid for 12 years. It is a truly fantastic run. We'll address that and we'll dive into that as soon as all of this is over. That's something you want to take your time for. Very important for Goblin to keep it clean here. Make sure that we don't start letting the depth in when we cannot let the depth get in. That is an early Baneling Nest on the side of Solar. It is a forward Baneling Nest. Circling count is quite high. Max is adept. He is going to shade away. First Oracle on the way. Goblin is going to go for the Twilight Council. So we go away from the Stargates and we are going Twilight. Serral's got a Roach 1 on the way and +1 missile attacks and has fired up his lair. Double Adept is not going to commit. Obviously it's so important that we are ready for these oracles. And there is a lot of mineral lines to protect early on here. Scary, intense, and it's 2v2. Solar morphing his first 2 Banelings and he's morphing them offensively, guys. Solar morphing 2 Banes awfully close towards the natural of Serral and MaxPax. Spore Crawler is done, so we're gonna get a lot of shots off on that Oracle and we don't take much damage. Solar is here with a decent amount of links. Serral does not have any roaches yet, does have a couple of slow Zerglings, has a Queen. Solar is really gonna go for it. Here are the Banelings as well. The Stalkers are necessary here. It's the good snipe by Goblin as he snipes one of the Banelings. The other Baneling might connect. We don't quite have a shield battery yet. We drop a force field. Goblin will lose some workers here. The only thing is we cannot lose all the workers. One Stalker is very low on HP and the Stalker dies. We need those roaches of Serral. Extra warp in on the side of Goblin. Goblin supply definitely struggling a little. Oracle is going to go into the main base, but there is a shield battery there. Some losses for sure, but I think it's somewhat acceptable. Oh, Goblin, his pylon has finished up, so Goblin cannot defend his main base right now. Has used energy recharge to keep some of these probes alive a little bit longer. That is the second Oracle from Max. Solar has more and more and more Zerglings coming to the other side of the map, but Serral's got roaches now, and let's not forget +1 missile attacks well on its way, close to finishing up. Worker counts 43-41 against 33-36, so we are definitely behind in that regard. We are a bit ahead when it comes to the technology, but not a whole lot. I'd say overall successful start for the Villains of SC2. Oracle of Max continues to be annoying, picks off a single drone, does take some damage. Solar also transitioning into the roaches. His +1 missile attacks is almost halfway done. We are definitely, I think, a bit behind. Goblin's economy is not where you'd love it to be. Max already on 50 probes. Third base on the way. Both squads pinging. Serral does have way more roaches right now than Solar. We do still have to worry. Well, there's some lag spikes, by the way. These lag spikes are very frustrating. Make it hard to keep track of everything. Both Protoss players have Blink at this point. Well, obviously, that's not good news for us. This is Solar counterattacking with a bunch of Zerglings, and I don't think Serral can really save this hatchery. I don't know if Serral's even paying attention. Serral is paying attention, but we have stepped into a big stasis trap. This is not looking all that hot anymore as a couple of Desperation Force fields go down, but MaxPax and Solar are starting to look really good here in this 2v2. And that puts us in a bit of a pickle. I mean, we still have a roach advantage, I guess. We have 5 roaches more. Those roaches have now unfrozen. There is still something happening on the other side of the map. I think that's maybe an Oracle or something, or we have roach speed. Seems like there is no roach speed on the side of Solar. Means that Solar's reinforcements show up a little bit later, but MaxPax is just going to have so many Stalkers, the way that Max always has so many Stalkers. Solar still not having roach speed is definitely very surprising. He's even morphing a couple of Banelings now. I don't know if that's in the corner. That is in the corner of Serral's main. As MaxPax is busy defending with all of his Blink Stalkers, there are some Banelings walking into the main base of Serral. Serral does pay attention, but still loses a decent amount of workers, and that is not something that the Basilisk boys could be using right now. And it's starting to look like this one is not going to go our way. Just the early economic damage with the links, the few Banelings that Solar had, that just made everything a little bit hectic. The shield battery, that was a split second perhaps too late. Couldn't keep that Stalker alive, didn't help keeping some of those probes alive. I don't know how likely a comeback is in 2v2, but Serral has 34 drones. Was forced to cancel this hatchery, obviously. This one indeed looks pretty over. It's a numbers game at this point. No amount of micro is going to save you. I mean, these are the numbers that we are looking at. MaxPax with 64 probes. 20 Stalkers. Both Oracles is still alive. Has not made a mistake despite the fact that we are playing on the American server, where obviously there is a bit of ping disadvantage that comes into play. It doesn't work, Wing, and Control Shift X does not work in 2v2. It only works in 1v1. Otherwise, I'd be doing it, mate. Few of Goblin and his units are stuck in a stasis trap. Serral is gonna try to make some magic happen. There is no eco at all, but there is always some Serral multitasking to look forward to. I don't know if the Stalkers can even blink away. So roaches are gonna appear in multiple mineral lines on the other side of the map. But I think a much bigger problem is the monstrous army that MaxPax and Solar are shoving down the center of Rohana. And I just don't see what we can possibly do against this. The roaches of Serral, I'm sure, are killing a couple of workers on the other side of the map. But we need to pull off a hold that just simply does not seem possible. Everywhere you look, you see Stalkers of Max, you see a couple of Ravagers. You have a nice warp in there on the side of Goblin, who has snuck out an Immortal too. It feels that Serral is really running out of steam. He's got 8 roaches remaining. Most of them are on the other side of the map. this Nexus is going to fall. Solar has a big economy, MaxPax has a massive economy. And our guys are just not working with a whole lot. The Queens are way up creep. There's a forward blink by Max, and I'm afraid that this is the beginning of the end. That means that MaxPax, Solar and Percival will take the 4-2 lead in this grand finals of the WardiTV Team League Season 10. And they will now have 3 match points to close things out. GG got skulled. Tough. Like the beginning was so close. It really came down to like milliseconds is what it feels like. The battery is done a little bit quicker. If we somehow catch a glimpse of those first 2 banelings, if the first few roaches are there just a little bit quicker, then we have some extra bodies on the floor. We can block those lings out. We can do some cute stuff with hold position in mineral lines. But again, if buts and maybes, it is unfortunate. So we bring this one back. And we are now looking at must-win territory. Every game for Basilisk is a must-win. MaxPax and Solar win the 2v2. So it is Reynor versus Solar on Tyto Citadel. Reynor versus Solar. Best of 1, Tyto Citadel. Reynor is the Italian Zerg, and Solar is the Korean Zerg. Give you guys 5 minutes. End the game. Ugh. It ain't over till it's over. Gotta have the fighting spirit. A must-win game for Reynor and Basilisk. Must-win game then for Trigger. Trigger will also be playing a best of 1 versus Solar. If both of those games go our way, then we can start thinking about the ace match. Tough. Bit of a tough series, obviously with the 2v2s. It is difficult. They feel very unpredictable. Unfortunately, that the game on 10k not really going our way, but still some Starcraft to be played. Hopefully 3 matches in total. That is what we are aiming for right now. Reynor Solar. Reynor has been great so far. Not looking good for Spurs. Not losing to Sunderland. I have not been watching that. I watched a little bit of Feyenoord, and they somehow threw away the lead in the 97th minute. Here we go. Best of 9. Reynor representing us. This is the correct score. Here we go. This man has been fantastic since he has returned from Miami. We're gonna need him to be a very big one last time. Top left side of Tyto Citadel, representing Basilisk, the Italian Stallion. It is Reynor. Came back home yesterday at 6 p.m. But he has looked sharp so far. Bottom right side of Tyto Citadel, we're looking at the main base of our Korean Zerg, representing the Villains of SC2, the friends team that they made for this WardiTV Team League Season 10. Percival, MaxPax, and this man were brought together. This man is, of course, Solar. A man with more than a bit of a reputation in ZVZ. Has historically also been very good in Team League formats. I don't know if there really is any science to that matter, but these team competitions do really bring out the best in this man. Tyto Citadel is one of the larger maps though. That means that some of these like early aggressive builds may not be as good as they are on some of the other maps. Even though if Reynor would expand here at 9 o'clock and Solar decides to expand at 6, you're still kind of expanding towards each other. And it can still be a bit of a game of chicken where tacking up to lair is very difficult. And that kind of turns this matchup into a matchup of extremes where either you tack up very quick and you roll the dice and you hope you get that spire online, get some mudas out, or you just never really tack up. Hello Jay. I mean, the start today was fantastic, mate. 2.5 hours, if you ask me. Everything was fine. Couldn't be better. We won our first match 5-0. Everybody looked good and sharp and ready. Just one match to go. I won a couple ladder game piece. Feyenoord was leading. Things can change quickly in 2 hours. Mutas are very, very good in ZVZ, but the biggest problem in general is safely getting up to Mutas. That is the real challenge. Solar obviously is a man that is very fond of the BASILISK in various matchups, but I'd say especially in ZVZ. Reynor has played some really good ZVZs lately though. It's so hard to feel mega confident about a best of 1 ZVZ. No matter who is playing, it doesn't really matter who we are looking at. If you're looking at 2 of the best in the world, and these 2 guys of course have been 2 of the best 5 Zergs on the planet for almost as long as I can remember at this point. Solid 5 years going. It's gonna come down to details. This game is played on US West as well. This is very unfortunate. A US West best of 1 ZVZ. Ay ay ay. This is something that nightmares are made out of. For the people who are no experts when it comes to watching or consuming online competition of Starcraft 2. When you have a Korean playing versus a European, there are 2 servers that we always alternate between. US West is better for the Korean players and US Central is better for the European players. And to keep things fair, things go back and forth. This is a proper mirror so far. Solar does have a minor worker lead. Reynor maybe just playing it like a tiny bit safer. Reynor having a few more links. That's 14 links in total. Solar is a man of extremes. He's not afraid to cut a corner if he feels like he can get away with it. Wouldn't say this has been extreme corner cutting so far on either side. It's a very honest ZVZ. It's a gentleman's ZVZ. Solar with the bare minimum 1 bailing defense just so he has one. Reynor's gonna have to be very cautious here. It's so low, Reynor. A victim of ping there. Most certainly a victim of ping. That is something I think he could have avoided. He's gonna try to make a dive on this one. Queen has a bailing protecting his links. This is a close call. Reynor gets the queen. Obviously it wasn't for free, but he gets what he is looking for. And Reynor is the one going full solar as he is firing up a bunch of roaches, a bunch of links. Is droning up behind this though. As now it is Solar who's going to counter-attack. And Reynor lost all of his links sniping that one queen. So now the roaches are going to be revealed. There is a roach one on the side of Solar as well who spots extra roaches. Solar is stacking up. Reynor is stacking up now as well. Solar is kind of forced to at least make a couple of defensive roaches to respect what he has seen. Solar is the one with a significantly quicker lair. Now lairs don't take forever. This is a bit risky, by the way, by Reynor, because if Solar would have had a bunch of links, he could maybe jump on this. Say overall, small advantage Solar. Quicker +1 missile attacks, quicker lair. It is match point. If Solar wins this, it is all over. And then Percival, MaxPax, and Solar can call themselves the champions of the WardiTV Team League Season 10. If Reynor wins it, we are going to a best of 1 between Trigger and Solar. Solar is gearing up, guys. He's making a lot of roaches. Reynor needs to stop building drones. Reynor needs nothing but roaches from here on out. Roaches and roaches and roaches and roaches only. Anything other than a roach or an overlord on the production tab would be a big mistake. And that drone is a mistake. We need units. It's going to be a difficult hold, guys. Especially because I think Solar is going to have +1. Reynor drops Hydralisk then extra drones. This is not looking good for us. This is really not looking good for us. Reynor is going to have defenders advantage, but since they did expand towards each other, this map became a little bit smaller. I feel like the numbers difference is a little too large. I don't think this is doable. Reynor is investing in a lot of things that just won't come into play. Overlord speed is not something we need. Reynor now knows that he needs nothing but units. He's going to cancel Overlord speed. He has cancelled the Hydralisk then as well. That +1 is still going to be a little bit quicker on the side of Solar. Reynor has defender's advantage, but that is the only real advantage he has. He has a slightly superior concave. A couple of banelings are going to sneak into the mineral line. That is a few dead drones. But this game will never come down to the drones. A couple of big corrosive balls landed on the roaches of Solar. But Solar is just not looking back. He wants to fight. This is where he's got +1 missile attacks. Reynor does not. But Reynor does have those immediate reinforcements. We have a couple of extra roaches spawning. Reynor now has his own +1. Is down a little bit. Is still up in work as has Queen support. Can Reynor do what looked almost impossible? And that is successfully push back this attack from Solar. What a hold it is. What a hold it is for now, but it is never over till it's over in ZVZ. Solar still has the army supply lead. But Reynor, despite the fact that he lost a few drones in that attack, is still alive. And with that, Basilisk is still alive. Reynor goes forward, wants to snipe a Ravager, does successfully snipe a Ravager, and even saves the Queen. An 8 roach advantage on the side of Solar, who is just waiting for his reinforcements to show up, is now looking to snipe an Overlord. A 20 army supply lead on the side of Solar. And this is where if you're Reynor, you're also worried, like, is he macroing up behind this? Is he going Mudas? No, Solar is just going to send it one more time. And this time it feels that Solar is having a better dive on the units of Reynor than before. As Reynor has lost his Ravagers really quickly, is not killing the Ravagers of Solar anywhere near quickly enough. And it seems like the second wave, as Reynor was investing in +2 missile attacks, may just be a little too much to deal with. The GG gets called. Solar gets the best of 1W. And that will do it. Congratulations to the Villains of SC2. Truly are the villains over here on this Sunday. Solar, Percival and MaxPax win the WardiTV Championship Season 10. Unfortunately, we finish second. It's not the first time that we have done that. It's a shame. Well done by them. Obviously very tough battle. Few big things not going our way early on. The almost miraculous hold into just not quite. Good dive by Solar there. Very good second time around. Felt like his first attack was a little bit messy because he lost his Ravager quickly, ate a couple of corrosive balls. I think the second time around he had a better launch of it, sniped a Ravager or two immediately, didn't take any corrosive balls. Had more roaches. Reynor thought perhaps it's over, perhaps he's slowing down. That's why we started +2 missile attacks. We started up another Queen, but yeah, it really was about maybe getting a few more defensive Ravagers there. Should have put you in. No, we definitely should not have done that, mate. That would have not gone well. GG's. That's a real shame. Things can turn around so quickly. And that is unfortunate. But big thank you to Wardi for organizing the WardiTV Season 10 Team League. After a 6-year hiatus, he decided to bring it back. Obviously a modified version with a bit of a fun element where friends teams were allowed, and the 2v2s were a large part of the Team League as well. It was fun. It's a shame it didn't go our way. I mean, we had ups and downs throughout this league. It was a rough start. In the end, we did get the 1-0 lead. Yeah. It's always a shame when it doesn't go your way. I was looking forward to this. I mean, it was still a good time. I'm obviously happy, and I think we had some really good games. It was a good showing by the boys, especially I think Trigger has truly played a stunning tournament, and that is something to be very, very proud of. Unfortunately, we could not turn Goblin into the champion that I would have loved to see him turn into. 2v2 is rough.